Have you ever thought what your life would have been like if you didn't do a certain action? Maybe if you actually paid attention in science class, you could have become a Nobel Prize winning scientist. Or if you had pursued your dreams in cooking, you would have become a chef like Gordon Ramsay.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
As humans, and also Kirins, we always think about the what ifs and the alternate life choices we would have taken, or whether another version of us with a better life or a better life choices exists out there in a vast fabrication of space and time. Introducing the concept of multiverses. According to the Britannica Dictionary, is a hypothetical collection of potentially diverse universes, each of which would have comprised everything that's experimentally accessible by a connected community of observers. That is a very hefty sentence. Well, as of recent times, this idea of multiverses existing in the media is not really a newfound concept. Marvel is a huge reason for the integration of multiverses in films and TV shows nowadays, with movies such as Endgame, shows like Loki, or No Way Home opening up doors to set concepts and popularizing it. Heck, even Riverdale has its own multi-universe now.
There are 2 parallel universes, and apparently 2 Reggies.
But I came first. I'm Reggie Prime, baby.
Yeah, but you've been in like 3 issues. I've been in dozens.
While most stories tackle multiverses in a way that showcases the different potential outcomes of a certain character or the alternate selves, A24's latest film, Everything Everywhere All at Once, utilizes the multiverse to create an elaborate story unlike any other about regrets, love, and kindness. But before we move on with the analysis and the breakdown of the film, let me review and introduce the film a little bit to those who are unfamiliar with it. Also, I'm going to take a page out of the movie and... Everything Everywhere All at Once is a sci-fi black comedy film starring Michelle Yeoh and directed and written by Dan Kwan and Daniel Scheinert. I hope I got that right. Fun fact, the film's producers included the Russo brothers, which I will be bringing up later on in the video. The film follows Michelle Yeoh as Evelyn, a Chinese-American woman who discovers that she has the power to exist in parallel universe, and she must stop someone from destroying the multiverse. Ooh, big bad stuff. With a runtime of 2 hours and 30 minutes, so many events happen in that span of time that it will be pretty much impossible to explain every little detail to those who have not watched it. This film is every fever dream mishmash together with confetti exploding out of a unicorn's butt and that one scene from 2001 Space Odyssey. It's insane. I'm telling you that. But if you enjoy Marvel Phase 4 movies or TV shows, I really think you would really enjoy this film because there are elements of Marvel films being present in this one because Russo brothers are involved in the production of this film. I did think to myself while watching this film, wow, the direction and tone are kinda similar to Loki for some reason. And in a way, the story of the film is similar to Marvel movies. I was getting big Shang-Chi vibes. I would highly recommend all to watch this movie. You're gonna laugh, cry, poop your pants maybe, and change your perception on life and the way you're going to live it. So something that stood out to me before I watched the film is the main actress, the legendary actress and stunt woman herself, Michelle Yeoh! Yo. If you love martial arts films or police films, you would instantly recognize Michelle because she's pretty much a majority of the famous ones out there. And while in most work she's always kicking ass as a badass martial artist, in this one it does not really seem to be the case. It is promoted as more of a sci-fi comedy film, so it really stuck out to me. For me, in my eyes, I always knew Michelle as the wise mentor, or the beautiful kung fu lady that aids the main character, or just overall, a badass bitch. But in this film, she's pretty much the opposite of that. Evelyn is a laundromat owner who has multiple audits accumulated and probably at the lowest point in her life. She's not good at anything. She's not exactly the richest of rich, she has a dysfunctional family with her strained relationship with a daughter, and an attempt for a divorce with a husband. Even with this being part of a character, the writers are able to incorporate martial arts into her character in the most bizarre yet plausible way, through jumping through the multiverses to gain abilities. The fight scenes in this movie are really well choreographed and shot. Most shots during the fights are still and they do not move. Most Hollywood action films nowadays includes a lot of cuts and unnecessary movements that hides the stunts to make up for the lack of power or skills from the actors or to make it look cool or whatever. With a big name like Michelle Yeoh, who is so well versed in stunts and has done a lot of martial arts film, it would be a shame to distract the audience with the choreo. And with still shots and fewer cuts, the audience is fully able to comprehend the movements and clap when the punch does hit or land. Some of the fight scenes are also really funny, with the characters using the most insane and unbelievable weapons, and there's one scene that is super memorable that involves a trophy. But you know what? I'm not gonna say any more because it is something you should really experience in the cinema while you're watching the film. And believe me, it's worth it. Okay, now that I have given you a reason to watch this film, I want to talk more about the analysis and my personal understanding of the truth and the meaning behind the movie. Spoilers ahead for those who haven't watched yet. The multiverse is a huge enigma that ties in everything present in this film. But what I love about the presentation of the multiverse is that it presents one simple question and answer to what I have asked during the start of the video. Have you ever thought about what your life would have been like if you didn't do a certain action? To which we are put into the shoes of Michelle's character, Evelyn. It's great that we are put into her shoes because, like her, we as the audience are not familiar with the rules and laws of the universe, so we also learn everything along with her. Evelyn is always thinking. In the film itself, we see her lost in a train of thoughts, always confused and overwhelmed, busy with the auditing and busy with her businesses. Immediately, we are thrown into a barrage of events revolving her daily life, and we're able to understand her wanting to escape this life. What if she did not marry a husband? Or what if she didn't run away with him? Hence, when the multiverse is presented to her, the multiverse gives her the answers to her thoughts and questions. So when she gets the chance to her possible different career paths and outcomes in life, she does have the temptation to live in the life she sees, but is warned that she will face complications with the device and possibly frying her brain in the process. Yikes. Evelyn's always worried about her failure and not succeeding in life, and wanting to live up to the expectations of her family, especially her father. Her father sees her as a failure when she chose to leave with the one she loves, so that definitely hurt her when she grew up. And this is a very real problem that most Chinese children or Asians face in our lives. The ever-imposing weight on our shoulder that unconsciously brings mental struggles that affect us. And while presented as the worst version of itself in the multiverse, it is ironic that the worst version of Evelyn is ultimately the hero of the story and is the one to save the world. Ultimately, she's able to utilize all the shortcomings and the new skills she learned to take down all those stopping her and Jobu Tupaki. Yes, that is an actual name. Alpha Women says it the best. As the worst version of herself and being rejected by all the better opportunities, Evelyn is able to learn so many new skills to further her potential, and backed up by previous failures, she's not afraid to make mistakes. It is definitely one of the most interesting ways to tell your audience, even if you think you are the worst version of yourself or you don't amount to any success, you can still be the best version by accumulating your past failures and trudging forward to forge a new path that can lead to some other better future. What you necessarily define as failure can be a success in another light. You are the best you.
What is my purpose?
You pass butter.
Oh my god.
We as humans love to fuel our ego. We want to own everything. Everything we do in some ways is to boost our egos to make us feel better than others. You know, buying expensive cars, getting Rolexes, triple the amount of our salaries, getting to the best schools and countries. We want to feel pride and strong about ourselves. We want to be important. We want to be the gods of our own lives.
All of you shall become as gods.
But when you think about it, we are a mere individual on one floating rock ball revolving around the sun, one of the many stars amongst the millions of stars in one galaxy, of the billions and ever-expanding galaxies in the universe. So thinking about the scale out there of the world, you would realize we are nothing but insignificant in the vast entity of this universe. Nothing we do would severely impact the development and evolution of humanity, let alone the universe. And that is exactly what Joy, or Jobu Tupaki, realizes through the bagel. In her eyes, everything that she does, her trying to convince Evelyn that her emotions matter and that she wants the approval of her mother, will amount to nothing. To which is how she interprets the truth of nothing matters. Nothing matters and nothing is going to change either ways. Nothing matters if our measly human existence is the tiniest fraction in the evolution of the universe. Nothing matters if we don't matter at all. And that is how she interprets the truth the bagel presents. It is sad, It is deafening, and she's adamant in trying to show this to Evelyn, who she sees as someone who is putting so much effort in her life and trying to succeed, even if it's something she's not necessarily good at, such as singing, cooking, and sewing. And this is what Evelyn sees when Jobu shows her the bagel. Evelyn comes to the same exact realization as Jobu and starts destroying her path and self-destructing in a way, since there are no consequences to what she does if it means nothing at all. However, her husband, that she deemed as useless, weak, and too submissive for his own good, convinces her to be kind and show more love, and that is when Evelyn takes the truth in a different way. He anchors her back to reality and shows that even with the world imploding on its own, even if the whole multiverse is against her, with love and understanding, she's able to make her own change, and while it may be for a short period of time, this love is still an emotion one can feel. We as humans understand that our time on this plane of existence is relatively short, and that is why we should appreciate and cherish every single moment that we have. We have to be kind in order to receive the best things in life and also to achieve our desired best versions of ourselves. Nothing matters if you are with the one you love. 天马行空 directly translates to a heavenly steed soaring in the sky, bold and imaginative, unconstrained in style. This is how I describe the film, a conglomeration of everything in one film. With an idea and film so unhinged in many ways, everything is tied in so well together and directed so superbly to present multiple important messages to humankind. It is such an unexplainable movie that's simply up to the interpretation of the audience. We all want happiness in our lives, but life is just unexpected. There's so many possible ways our lives can turn out. But one thing is for sure, if you open up your heart and treat others with kindness, no matter what it is, happiness will come to you. And that is the bizarre insanity and beauty of everything, everywhere, all at once. And this is what Evelyn sees when oh my god, why can't I say her name? Jobu.